ties both to the preparation and the performance. We're not where we need to be. I mean, clearly our record reflects it. So we can improve on a number of things, and it's just not one area, one person. Everybody's 3-9 right now, so we all need to do a better job.
I mean, you can't debate that everybody has some responsibility in this, but Randy, when you look at what's happened so far this year, do you think it's more on the players or on the coaches?
Well, you look at every week we sit here and talk about, let's talk about year. Every year we sit here and talk about the Dallas Cowboys. There's one thing that's obvious. We talk about their talent.
Yep.
And over the years, hey, it's a daggone shame that there was some wasted talent on the Dallas Cowboys. So we just got through talking about the New York Giants and how they climbed back in the NFC East lead. We talk about coaching.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think when you talk about the Dallas Cowboys, you get a new head coach that's had some time off. Now you're coming back to a game that has changed since you left. And I remember early October taking up for Xavier Woods, the guy in the secondary, talking about we don't play every snap hard or something like that. I had to come to his defense because I knew what type of shots was being fired in Dallas and coming out of Dallas. So, Sam, to answer your question, it has to be the coaching, because you heard players coming out in the month of September. They wasn't naming names. They were just talking about just trying to fill this new head coach and his coaching staff out. And I think for most of the season, the finger pointing has been at the coaching and not the players.
And it starts sometimes with McCarthy. You got to do the right things in terms of if you got to call somebody out, you call them out, whether it's in the media, whether it's in the team meetings or something, because the best coaches don't want to be your friends. They just want to be your coach and get you playing better. So I think based on who McCarthy is, he's got to do everything he can to figure out if he's got a bunch of front-running players there in that locker room, or does he have players that the game means something to him, and even though you may not have a chance, you still go out there and play hard and find a way to win. Watch your players closely and how they respond.
Yeah, but how you determine, how you measure how much someone cares is by the effort they give defensively. Like, I don't care. They have talent, Randy. You're right, but you don't need talent to show effort. Okay? A great coach says this all the time. Your love for your teammate is measured on defense by how close you are to the ball when the whistle is blown. Where's that pursuit drill? Where's the effort? I don't see it out of Dallas. And not only do I not see it, I don't see them finishing plays. I don't even see them talking about it. Okay? So, to me, this is mostly on the players right here. I think the effort there for me has not been at the standard that it should be.
See, I think it's everybody's got to take blame, but it starts with the mirror. You got to look yourself in the mirror and say, what can I do to get this thing better? And to Randy, because you did defend that guy when I was like, Randy, there's no excuse for that. Remember, it's like effort. You gotta put it out there every single play. But the great ones, man, I mean, we policed each other, whether it was coach to player, player to player, coach to coach, whatever. Man, I mean, you want to show off. At least as a coach, I couldn't wait for my team to get on the field because I knew we were going to play our tails off. This thing right here, it's like, how can you be dead last in the league in run defense and scoring or whatever, and then you're dead last in scoring offense and Dak went down? With this kind of collection of talent, you better take it personally if you're a football coach. You have to. But those players, they're accountable too.
Yeah.
But apparently you're not keeping them as accountable as they should be, to Bruce's point. So, man, there's a lot of problems going on. They need to hire some difference makers in that coaching staff that actually have that kind of passion. I don't sense it with this group at all.
The best teams, I believe, are the teams when the players care more than the coaches. And that's a special thing that you can find sometimes on the great teams where players, you don't even need the coaches there, okay? This is our team. We're gonna take care of this. And they clearly don't have that right now, and there's a lot of teams that don't have that. But the great teams do have that.
We just got through talking about the NFC East leading New York Giants, and they just talked about how did they get better. They talked about coaching. Just a year ago, the Giants wasn't even in the discussion to even compete in the NFC East. So you sit up here talking about what a year makes. The New York Giants got a new head coach in Joe Judge, so did the Dallas Cowboys. What's the difference? Players or coaching? I say it's coaching coming from Dallas.
Yeah, not just a year ago. I mean, they weren't in the discussion 4 weeks ago.
All right.
I mean, things have changed very quickly for New York. If things seem especially for you, got Moss, quite like Rex Ryan, I wanted
another wedding, man. We haven't had a wedding. I still think that lady's still available. I still think she's available.
We're gonna get back to football. You probably have have no idea what Rex is talking about right now. So meanwhile, not far from here at MetLife, Giants get their starting QB back. Cardinals trying to get their season back on track. Look, both of these teams seem to be heading in opposite directions, especially when you look at their playoff chances. Following Week 8, Arizona had a 71% chance to reach the playoffs, while the Giants were only at 2%. But with the Giants winning 4 straight, New York enters today's game with a 59% chance to make the playoffs, considerably higher than the Cards. Our Kimberly Martin knows all about it. She's at MetLife this morning. Good morning, Kimberly.
Good morning, Sam. Yeah, good news for the Giants. They're expected to have Daniel Jones on the field today, which is great. One teammate told me this week Daniel was working around the clock to make sure he'd be on the field because he's the type of guy who would play on one leg if he needed to for this team. The Giants, as you said, trying to keep the momentum going. The Cardinals looking to snap that 3-game losing streak. And QB Kyler Murray even bristled a little bit this week when asked about his throwing shoulder and the state of this offense. For his shoulder, Murray said, "It's fine." That's good news because today he'll face a top 10 Giants defense that's been really good against the run. And one reason for the Giants' turnaround is their defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham, who is garnering a lot of head coaching interest for good reason. His players love the fact that he schemes up plays with them in mind. And even defensive leader Logan Ryan told me there's a reason so many guys are having a really good season. And some, like Leonard Williams, like Jabril Peppers, seem to have resurrected their careers. One word: coaching.
Yeah, no doubt they are fans
Yeah, that's right,
of Joe
Kimberly.
Judge and that
That's
staff
right.
so far there in New York. But I want to get back to Kyler Murray for a second. He said this week, shoulder's fine. But if you look at the numbers, 61 total rushing yards and 0 rushing touchdowns in the last 3 games. For a normal quarterback, that wouldn't be a big deal. For him, it is a big deal. What's going on with Kyler right now, Rex?
Yeah, I mean, it sure seems like there's that shoulder issues because we talk about it, they're not running him, as much. But I put a tape together, and it's the way people are attacking him, especially in the drop-back game. You want to pressure the middle. Teams are doing it differently, but what they're doing is attacking this middle of the protection and getting him, a shorter quarterback, to have to bail. So they're using stunts here. You're going to see it right here. And now I have to bail. And when they do, you got to build high on them, especially on the blind side of the quarterback, and that's what teams are doing. You're going to get another look here from New England. It's simulated pressure, but it's going to accomplish the same thing. Collapse the pocket and make this guy have to bail. When he does, there's no protection inside. Nobody could have got away from that one. And that's what teams are doing. So push that pocket against a shorter quarterback and make sure you know who you're facing. Be ready for him to bail on the outside. And that's how people are attacking Kyler Murray. I expect more of the same today.
Yeah, now it's really on Kyler Murray to improve that because the book is being written, just like you're saying. Pass rush plans, knowing what to do. Also, the aspect of having the controlled rush and getting ready to bat down balls. But you showed it on that film, too. Everyone knows when he goes to his left, he's going to spin in game ground. That's how Holland's got that sack right now. And the New York Giant defense is ready for that. They've got some players that you've got to be introduced to, and I'm going to do it right here because they have playmakers on all levels. Let's go to Leonard Williams right here. Talk about resurrecting your career, Kimberly Martin. Like she said, watch him beat the double team right there.
Wow.
Pressure up the pocket. He has been motivated somehow by Patrick Graham, defensive coordinator, playing great football again. They got a great corner in James Bradbury. And I like this play because he works, he grinds, quick little screen, jumps the block, they create turnovers, he still forces the fumble right there. And one of my favorite linebackers to watch, he's going to be there. No matter what, he's going to be where the ball is. He'll take on blocks. Blake Martinez, he'll get off the blocks and make tackles. These type of players, coaching matters. And when you have it in Joe Judge and Patrick Graham, that's what